Malibuca is one of the greatest Fortnite players of all time. He has an FNCS title and over $1 million in earnings, but his journey hasn't been easy. When he first became a professional player, he instantly became one of EU's biggest villains, as he and his trio contested Benjyfishy and Mr. Savage. After slowly having to prove himself among the top players in the world, he was then forced to move to a new home as the Russian-Ukrainian conflict threatened his ability to compete. Malibuca is a first ballot Fortnite Hall of Famer, and here are his 10 greatest moments and how they've made him the player he is today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For most of Fortnite's history, contesting another team off spawn in high level lobbies ended a tournament before it began, especially in trios. As a result, when Malibuca, Merstach, and Shizoname and Mr. Savage, Andretta, and Rescar both made the Chapter 2 Season 7 Grand Finals, landing Steamy Stacks, both teams had one plan: don't fight. This resulted in both teams disengaging from Steamy Stacks and Malibuca only dying off spawn 3 times. The problem was they had no loot and couldn't successfully play out their games, which resulted in them placing 28th. We didn't know it at the time, but this would go on to change how Malibuca approached off spawn.
Maybe we just go Khanada, we die one game, we win one game, and stuff like that.
In the following season, Malibuca concluded that if anyone was going to contest him at Steamy Stacks, he would fight, so that when he lived, he could dominate. As a result, in Chapter 2 Season 8, when he was again contested by Mr. Savage and Andretta, this time joined by an even bigger name in the community, Benjyfishy, Malibuca wasn't afraid to fight them. This resulted in Malibuca becoming one of the game's most infamous players, as many people thought he was trying to deliberately grief Benjy and Savage, but that couldn't have been further from the truth.
We honestly had no idea who they were, because we were kind of watching only CIS guys.
Malibuca and his trio were just playing an optimal strategy, and although they died off spawn more often, when they survived, they popped off.
Лучший?
Тип боксе, тип, убил меня, убил здесь.
Убил.
Он умер.
Я умер. Вот тут, найс.
1 в 3. Bullshit.
From their disadvantage of dying off spawn, Malibuca and his trio were still able to come 7th place, winning $25,000 each and cementing themselves as one of Europe's most controversial but talented duos. Today, Malibuca is one of the game's best solo players, and he started to see some of his first success in the World Cup Week 9. His solo rise would slow as he missed the Chapter 2 FNCS Invitational, but made his first set lobby placing 98th in an online DreamHack Finals. Making the first set lobby is an important moment in any player's career, but for Malibuca, he couldn't seem to figure them out as he made another in the solo FNCS heats, but once again floundered, placing 98th, missing Grand Finals. He continued his development, placing 46th in the solo All-Star Finals in Chapter 2 Season 7. As time went on, Fortnite started hosting less major solo events, but Malibuca continued to improve, placing highly in Cash Cups and eventually winning 4 Cash Cups throughout Chapter 3. But Malibuca wouldn't truly peak in solos until Chapter 4, where in the Solo Victory Cash Cup Finals, he did this. This broke the world record for the most wins in a solo Cash Cup, a culmination of years of work. Despite Malibuca's great online FNCS performances during major lands, mostly due to being contested, but in global championships, he was still able to make this insane 1v2 onto Khanada and Agers.
But here at the racetrack, we've watched this for 3 games now. 2-1 in favor of Thomas and Malibuca. Khanada trying to see what he can do. It's a double fire, but Thomas, for the time he's gonna go down. Khanada and Agers looking like they could be in a decent position here, but it's Malibuca on the wraparound of the reboot van, trying to make sure that he can keep Thomas and his own hopes alive for this game number 4. Aegis, Khanada so incredibly low, but Malibuca down to half HP. Now jumping on top of the building, and the reboot van just barely keeping the hope alive for Khanada and Aegis.
Oh, this is gonna be a big save. His chance to get his HP back, and it down onto Khanada. He has no ammo left. This could be huge if Aegis could just find a way to just push up, finish this off, but it's Malibuca.
Although his 2023 Global Championships were underwhelming, his 2022 FNCS Invitational had higher highs. He and Merstach were triple contested at their drop spot by some of the best players in the world, Aqua and Reason, Tayson and Merstach. They struggled throughout the 2 days but surged up the leaderboard after an incredibly impressive Game 12 that no one remembers because it happened in the wake of
Andy might peek, breaks through the wall, shot's gonna be fired, and they do it! Become legends are on top!
Become Legends has officially managed to win the biggest fight of their career.
They're still in zone. It looks like Acorn has run out of opportunity. He goes down. Malibuca and Merstach take game number 12.
This game skyrocketed them up the leaderboard where they finished a respectable 16th, but not the performance that Malibuca was looking for. In Chapter 3, Season 2, Malibuca and Merstach were very good players on EU. But when the Ukraine-Russia conflict started, Malibuca had to make a bold decision. He chose to move from Russia to Serbia to compete. This was a huge risk, and it looked like this season might be a wash when they ended up being contested by Pink and Nas. In the first qualifier, off-spawn struggles looked like they might continue to haunt Malibuca as he would go down in half of his games. But when he survived, he showed greatness.
Nice! Хорош! Я на хайе.
They won all 3 games, they made it off spawn, and won the qualifier. An incredible performance. This was Malibuca and Merstach's breakout performance as a duo, and come Grands, they proved they were the real deal. Following this Grands, they placed 4th, each earning $60,000 and making themselves arguably the best duo on EU. By Major 2 in 2023, Malibuca was becoming one of the best players in the world to never win in FNCS, teaming up with maybe the only other player on the planet who deserved an FNCS title more, ThomasHD. The pair looked to make history. After this stellar performance, they ended placing in 3rd. A good performance, but not the FNCS win either player was looking for. In Chapter 3, Season 3, Malibuca was once again looking to finally get over the hump and win in FNCS. He and Merstach looked great throughout the season, placing 4th in Qualifier 1 and auto-qualifying to the Grand Finals. In the Grand Finals, Malibuca made everyone realize he might be the best player in the world when he executed one of the best clutches of all time.
Хорош? Окей. Сейчас умру за зоной. Найс!
Найс! Найс! Что я выиграл?
Unfortunately, this still wasn't enough for them to get over the hump and winning in FNCS, as they came just short, placing 2nd but still earning $100,000 each. In Major 1 of 2023, Malibuca and Thomas were both a duo and the top 2 players to never win in FNCS, but they looked poised to do it as they dominated the entire season, and in Grand Finals they looked good, like this Malibuca clutch.
Nice! You're siphon, you're siphon. I think you're right. Nice! Focus.
No,
This tournament
fuck.
would come down to Game 12, where only 3 points separated them from Merstach and Tayson, and the tournament came down to Tayson solo clutching versus Malibuca. Fortunately, he came up just 1 point shy. They still took home $60,000 and qualified to the Global Championships. In 2022, Malibuca exploded to the top of EU, becoming the highest earner that year. But as Lands came back, he had a whole new place to prove himself. Could he call himself the best if he hasn't beaten the best from all around the world? He would get this opportunity in the Gamers8 LAN and with unlikely duo Epic Whale. They had just one issue. Malibuca spoke Russian and Epic Whale spoke English, but this communication barrier did not stop them from dominating.
He's on me.
Edit on him, edit on him. Or, no, that's still.
I'm with you. I have 0 goals.
Yeah.
We might just stay in zone. Just stay in zone.
Wait, get
Up
him.
one.
Yeah, you. Oh, you.
Yeah, we have to
Oh,
kill.
he's out. I got damage. He's missing.
Nice.
He's running.
I'm at the
He's
speed
deep. He's
though.
in there.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the cone until
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Let's go, bro.
Malibuca finally won a major LAN, and on top of that was voted as the MVP of the tournament, winning an extra 100 grand and solidifying his legacy as one of the best players in the world. In Major 1 2024, Malibuca got back with his longtime duo Merstach as he looked to finally win in FNCS. After years of trying, of coming up just 1 point short in Major 1 the prior year, could this be the duo that gets it done? Going into Grand Finals, they looked good, but in Grands, they were contested. A situation Malibuca had been in many times before. So, would they fall just short yet again?
Я тебя чапнул.
Сотку.
Ноль рез.
Убил. Я умер с зоны.
Есть рез.
Да, и там за зоны ресы. Я 3 аптеки скинул. Вот там за зоны ресы возьми. 3 аптеки скинул.
Где?
Вот там, на моей метке. Сверху. Видишь, прям перед тобой, да.
Нет аптек.
Я аптеки скинул. Фак, я не скинул, сорян. Я убил.
Можешь их? Сколько тем?
Один дуус. За зоной, и на моей карте. Засекирую 2. Найс.
Or could Malibuca's years of practice fighting off spawn against the best players in the world pay off? In a scary parallel to Major 1 2023, this would also go down to Game 12. So, could Malibuca be on the winning side this time?
Another pressure towards the front side. It's looking disastrous for Thomas as everybody begins to focus back. Thomas goes down. Malibuca and Merstach are still alive. And that is 2 or 3 more points due to placement. They might have just overtaken it right there.
All they need to do is stay up. The closest duo now, Kiro Kiduo, were in 3rd place, creeping on behind Merstach and Malibuca. They need to find them in this late game. They need to eliminate them.
Just about 1 more placement, 1 more elimination will be official for Malibuca and Merstach to take this game. Kiro and Khanada still waiting in the wings, 32 below. They still have a chance right now. They're still over 60, 70 points on the board in terms of placement if Malibuca and Merstach can go down.
Malibuca's cracked. The fresh is on. He gets knocked. It's all up to Merstach. This could be it. The comeback from Kiro and Kiduo. If Merstach goes down, he cannot let that happen.
I'm not even sure if a placement came in by the time Queasy Thomas went down. Not just yet. Merstach still needs to be able to clutch up. He's been in this situation before 1 year ago, and he was on the victory end along with Tayson of a close race. But now it's going to be put to the test yet again. He's under pressure, getting shot from different angles, 83 HP. He's well above the damage threshold, and he still finds a way to stay alive.
Finally, he won, and poetically by just 1 point. Malibuca had done it. He was an FNCS champion. This was Malibuca's top 10 career moments. Malibuca is still competing at the top level of EU, so he will definitely have more career-defining moments that we're excited to see him create. If you enjoyed this video, then we think you'll also enjoy this video where we tell the story of Malibuca's FNCS win on the video on the screen.